I lost my health at 68, and only at 82 did I understand its value. I'm 82 years old, and most mornings I wake up already tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, the kind that lives in the bones. I didn't always wake up like this. I used to wake up early, before the sun, without thinking about it. Now, I wake up slowly, carefully, like the day itself might hurt me if I rush. I'm telling this now because I don't have much time left to pretend I understand things later. Later doesn't come the way it used to. When I was younger, I thought losing health would be loud. A collapse, an ambulance, a single bad day that changed everything. That's not how it happened. It slipped away quietly, the way people drift out of your life when you assume you'll call them next week. I was 68 when it really started, though I didn't call it that at the time. At 68, I still thought of myself as strong, still capable, still basically fine. I had aches, sure, shortness of breath sometimes, a knee that didn't like stairs, but I told myself that was just age doing what age does. Everyone around me said the same thing. Nothing serious. You're doing great for your age, as long as you can still get around. I accepted those phrases like permission slips. Back then, my days were full in a way that looked responsible. I kept busy. I stayed useful. I showed up where I was expected. I had routines I was proud of. I never missed obligations. I answered emails promptly. I carried groceries for neighbors and refused help myself. Rest felt like something you earned after everything else was done. And everything else was never done. I didn't ignore my body exactly. I just postponed it. I'd think, I'll deal with that after this project, after this season, after things calm down. Things never calmed down. They just got replaced. In my 40s and 50s, health was invisible. It was something I had without noticing, like clean air. I assumed it would always be there because it always had been. I ate what was convenient. I slept when there was time. I pushed through discomfort because that's what adults did. Pain wasn't a warning. It was an inconvenience. I remember sitting at my desk once, maybe in my early 50s, rubbing my chest lightly and laughing it off. Probably indigestion, I told myself. I finished what I was working on before I stood up. There was always something to finish. I missed walks because I was busy. I skipped checkups because I felt fine enough. I told myself stress was temporary, even as the years piled up. Looking back, nothing I did seemed reckless. That's the part that still bothers me. I wasn't careless. I wasn't wild. I was responsible. I did what made sense at the time. At 68, the word recovery entered my life. Recovery from small things, a cold that lingered, a sore back that didn't loosen. I noticed I was measuring distances more carefully, parking closer, avoiding stairs when I could. Still, I told myself this was normal. This was aging with dignity. The doctor started using softer language. We'll manage it. We'll monitor. Let's keep an eye on things. No one said, this is the beginning of the end of how your body works. If they had, I don't know if I would have listened anyway. The slow cost didn't announce itself. It collected quietly. I stopped traveling because it felt like too much trouble. I declined invitations that involved standing too long. I left events early and called it being practical. People adjusted around me, and I let them. That should have scared me more than it did. I remember missing my granddaughter's school play because it was raining and my joints were stiff. I told myself there would be another one. There wasn't. I stopped gardening little by little. First the kneeling, then the lifting, then the bending. One spring, the garden just didn't happen. I said I didn't miss it. I did. By my mid-70s, my world had shrunk without asking my permission. Rooms became boundaries. Chairs became destinations. I learned to hide how much effort things took. The turning point didn't come with drama. It came with a sentence. You'll have to adjust your expectations. The doctor said it gently, like he was doing me a favor. He was talking about my heart, about my lungs, about limits. I nodded like I understood. What I didn't understand was that adjusting expectations meant saying goodbye to parts of myself I hadn't finished using. After that, everything became measured. Medication, schedules, energy levels, risk. I started planning days around how much strength I might have, not what I wanted to do. That's when fear crept in, quietly. Not fear of dying, fear of living smaller. At 78, I had a fall. Nothing dramatic, just a misjudged step. I lay on the floor longer than I'd like to admit, listening to my own breathing, waiting for it to slow down. That was the moment clarity arrived. Not as panic, as certainty. I realized my body was no longer something I could argue with. I couldn't negotiate my way back to health. I couldn't outwork it. I couldn't delay it. What was gone was gone. At 82, I finally understand what health was. Not strength, not appearance, freedom. Health was the ability to not think about your body, to make plans without calculations, to say yes without fear. I used to believe losing health meant losing life. What it really meant was losing options. There are things now that will never come back. I will never run again. I will never lift a child without thinking about my spine. I will never wake up and decide to go somewhere on a whim. That time is gone. It doesn't matter how much I want it. Acceptance came slowly, not as peace, as resignation. Some days I'm grateful. I'm still here. I still see faces I love. Other days, the loss sits heavy. Not dramatic, just constant. I think about how casually I spent my health, how I treated it like a resource that replenished itself. I didn't abuse it. I just assumed it would forgive me. If you're listening to this and you still feel mostly fine, I want you to understand something I didn't. Health isn't something you notice when it's working. That's what makes it easy to waste. You don't have to be sick to be losing it. You just have to be distracted. I don't want to tell you what to do. I wouldn't listen to that either. I just want you to know that the body keeps score quietly, and it collects interest. There's no finish line where you finally get around to taking care of it. There's just now and later has conditions. If this meant something to you, sit with it for a moment. You don't need to change your life today. Just don't assume you'll always be able to. As for me, my time is smaller now, measured and careful. I move slowly through my days, trying to be present in ways I once postponed. I don't regret everything, but I regret not understanding sooner what I was spending. When my body finally rests for good, it won't be sudden. It will feel like the end of a long conversation. I just wish I'd listened earlier.